Act 1, take 1, action.
Did the fact that it was a utopia stand out to you the way it did to me? That, like, there was almost no adversity for these four. It's just, like, whatever they say goes. It almost seemed like the whole world was behind them.
Yeah, I think they were just really benevolent people. And Reed is so smart. And Johnny and Ben and Sue are also very smart. And I think that just allowed the world to support them because they were able to solve problems and figure out a way for everybody to live in peace. And I think it added, it made it special because it was its own universe. And like, it just shows what type of people they are.
Right. I like the part where it was like the two empty seats. Because, you know, obviously Doctor Doom, not a huge fan of the Fantastic Four. Not a huge fan. But it's like, what do you think he was doing?
Oh, dude, I was so excited when I saw that because I know how much of a hater he is.
Right.
And he just does not like Reed. So why would you show up?
That's true.
He also runs his nation. So like, and they love him there. But I mean, that is the comics, and we don't know how it is in the movie universe, but
right. I'm just interested how they'll expand on that.
Yeah.
Seeing as how like they're not gonna be, you know, they're not gonna be on this earth. What was the number?
It was like 800 something.
I think it was 828. I don't know.
Oh yeah, because.
So that's their Earth.
Yeah.
Okay.
Earth 828.
Do we know what number, like, the MCU Earth is?
I think it's 616.
Okay. So
they set that up right away, and then it shows you like the utopian society that they live in, and they've been heroes for 4 years.
Bro, the scenes with Galactus, like, I do think, me personally, I wanted more of like a Thanos type portrayal of this guy, if that makes sense. Needed more backstory, needed more dialogue. Like, I think we really needed to see that side of him that just really wants to not fucking do this shit anymore. I do think they missed out on that. Because, like, Thanos, we had Doctor Strange and him, that conversation on Titan, right? That was crazy. Because he showed exactly why he's doing what he's doing. Didn't justify it, really. Because he's still killing people. But it's, I don't know. We were missing that with Galactus, where it's like, it's not just this person or this being that's just going around mindlessly doing this. He, you know.
Yeah, he was, without the backstory, he was just kind of villain of the week.
Yeah, right. It was, there was less weight to what he was doing.
Yeah, and they only mentioned it briefly.
Especially considering he was not simply just destroying a planet in this case. He ended up finding, like, his heir, if that's what that...
Yeah, his successor.
Really say. Like, his successor.
Yeah.
So they did kind of miss on that, I have to be honest. Just for me personally. I would have liked to see a little bit more emphasis on that, rather than it just being this, like, oversimplified motive to just eat
a planet.
Earth. Right. Yeah. Like, he, and I didn't know that about him. I just knew he was this gigantic, larger than life being that's just eating planets. But the fact that, you know, he does not want to do that shit anymore. Like, he's trying to find somebody who is going to take over for him. They kind of missed on, like, really diving into that.
Yeah, I agree.
It's just like sympathy for the villain. It's not like a justification. Yeah. It's just like they missed that sympathy.
Well, I think it's kind of a justification because he's not really evil, but he's hungry.
Right.
They could have set that up. We talked about it earlier.
Mm-hmm.
You said that, or I don't know, what's her name? Shala Ball, Silver Surfer.
Yeah, she was really cool.
She like discussed it briefly, and then they did a similar thing to her too. They gave her like a brief origin, and I would have liked if they expanded on that or like given her more time to discuss, I guess,
right,
her origin. But yeah, I think they were probably trying to cut down on time for sure.
What was this kind of went over my head. Johnny was the one that was able to pinpoint, like, you know,
he deciphered her language.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he, like he was on to something where like there's something about her and the way that she said that to me. That kind of like went over my head.
Yeah.
Because my first thought was, is she trying to implicitly, is it like a cry for help almost? Because she's not really mutually working with Galactus.
Yeah.
She has to. So that was my first thought, just because I don't really know that much.
So I thought that the coded messages they were getting were from other planets.
Yeah.
That were being consumed by Galactus.
Hmm.
But then they got one from her. That was the first one we see them get.
Right.
But I assumed that they were collecting them because they had a bunch of discs laying on the floor later in the movie.
So those messages that they were receiving were these like distress signals almost.
That's what I assumed they were.
Okay.
But then I don't know how they would have. They were all in her language.
Right. Right.
So I don't know if maybe she was just. I don't know if she shows up to the Times Square on another planet and they're broadcasting it, and then set it away. Because when she's chasing him, he's playing them all on the screen, and then he's like, "This is your language," and then he says, "This is how the other worlds were reacting when you destroyed their planet."
Did he say worlds, or were those all just voices of the people from her world?
Yeah, no, because our world survived.
That's true. You're right. Okay. So yeah. She's one that I think deserved a little more screen time as well.
Yeah, I thought that was a really good start with what they did.
Yeah.
But it wasn't Fantastic Four, Rise of the Silver Surfer.
Yes. Yeah. It was, and I liked though, and I said this to you in the car, to go back to Silver Surfer, he has that like, I don't know what the word would be, but he just, has that feeling to protect Sue.
Yeah.
She, what's her name in now the new one?
Yep.
She had that instinct to like almost protect Franklin. So that I liked how there was parallels there.
Yeah, and we saw that in the flashback.
Yeah. Because before I saw it, I was like, I don't know anything really about comic book stuff, like Marvel or DC or anything, but I do know from just watching that movie, like he was connected to Sue. So that's just my only thing that made me think she might be connected to somebody. And that's how we end up finding out that she's not willingly helping Galactus in the slightest.
From my understanding, I think Norrin Rad Silver Surfer is the same origin as Shala Ball, at least in this movie. I don't know about it in the comics.
Gotcha.
But yeah, I thought it worked. I liked how she didn't want to give up the baby, or she felt bad about the baby.
Yeah, that was a good touch.
And then you just leave him.
My thing,
fill Galactus's place.
You're right. Yeah, that was that was a good touch. But my thing is like, what is a Silver Surfer like in the Marvel world?
It's just a person with the power of cosmic.
Okay, and
power that is cosmic. Is just like,
is that always given to them by Galactus?
No, Norrin Rad was like the first.
Okay,
he was like the only herald. I think you can get it from other places, but Galactus is just, I don't think he's a cosmic entity,
Mm-hmm.
but he's just like a force of nature with immense power.
For
He's
me,
just able to give it away.
right. Okay, then that makes sense. Because that almost made me feel like, okay, wait, can he like just create someone like that? Because I didn't know like what the Silver Surfers like really were, like anything.
Yeah, there's not a race of Silver Surfers.
Okay. Then that makes sense. Because he just created her on the spot,
Yeah.
like made her look that way. What else? That is because overall, I have to say, great film.
Mm-hmm.
Like
I've really enjoyed it.
I think personally, I think I'm nitpicking saying like, oh, I wanted more backstory from.
Yeah, I have very few
Yeah,
complaints, if they're even complaints. Like
it's more like just
CGI
nice. It maybe suggestions would be the better
Yeah.
word. Because like a complaint, I wouldn't really say I have about this.
I think they told a good story.
Mm-hmm.
I thought the pacing was really good.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I didn't feel like, wait, how did they get to this point from this point? I feel like it all made sense.
I thought the casting was great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, I don't think that any character was like an overwhelming version of what they were supposed to be in the slightest. Like, I thought it was just perfect,
Yeah.
which was like Vanessa Kirby was great as Sue. Pedro Pascal, I noticed some people were like hesitant. Maybe it was just the way he looks, but I thought, hit the nail on the head
Yeah,
for what
that
they were
was
looking
really
for.
good. I told you this earlier, but he felt out of place, but not like he didn't belong in the movie, because his acting was great in the movie. I don't know. Maybe he's just playing a weird dude, and that's why he felt out of place. Because he is a nerd and like a genius. And you said he had like, what did you say, psychopathic tendencies or something?
Yeah,
like,
it was like
bordering on that.
Right. Like it's almost like a snake, right? It's not really, left or right of a spectrum. He's so smart on one end that he is probably just as crazy as some of the people all the way on the other side.
Mm-hmm.
So that was an interesting detail. And just going to go right into talking about scenes. So spoiler alert. At the end, Reed being fully concerned about her and how much power she's putting forth to get him the fuck into that thing.
Yeah.
Like, she's like, that's our son. Like, save our son.
Yeah, don't worry about me.
Right. She literally looked him dead in the face and was like, save our son.
Yeah, this is the only chance. This is like the last chance.
Right. And that was they kind of built up to that. Because the first thing I think was the conversation with it being ethical and mathematical to give up Franklin. And that's when like it's first explicitly thrown at you that like he's really not thinking about like being a dad right now. He's still being Reed.
Yeah, and he knows that it's messed up too, but he says he can't help it, which I loved. That was my favorite part about him.
Exactly.
Because he was so smart, so utilitarian. He's just trying to solve problems, and that was like the first. He did it twice in the movie.
Yeah. Like
give up the baby because that's what the people want, and they're not wrong to want that. It's like one life over however like 7-8 billion people on Earth. They're not wrong to feel that way. But it's like their baby. They can't give up their baby. Right. And then he does it later in the film where he looks at the baby monitor. He's like, we have to get him to New York. Everybody's like, how? But Sue knows. And then he's like, no, I'll come up with another way. And she's like, no, you already figured it out.
Right.
And like, she's mad at him, but I think she knows that he's right.
Yeah, he is so smart that like he's just looking at every single idea with an unbiased view, and that's making her mad. Yeah, essentially, like he doesn't want to give up Franklin. He said it himself. He looked right at Galactus and he said, "One, you're not gonna take Earth."
It was the first thing he said.
Yeah, you're not gonna take Earth, and you're not gonna take our son.
Yeah.
So like he
has humanity in him.
Yeah, he stood on business, and he was like, "You're not doing this." But he just being as smart as he is, he can look at every single idea objectively and not like let himself get too emotional about anything. So that was the problem. It's like she wanted to see him be more of like, I want to defend this kid. It was more like he's just looking at every avenue.
Yeah.
So that was
honestly, now that we're talking about it now, Johnny and Ben not being able to pick up on that right then, when he like looks at the baby monitor and he's like, we have to get him to New York, and they're like, how are we gonna do it? How are we gonna do it? They're all looking at each other. They're those two are really smart as well. I feel like they could have figured it out.
Yeah, I think it's more so just
but it's like for the suspense of the moment.
Yeah, but also, is it more being smart or more like would that even cross their minds?
That cross their mind? Like,
because
no
they were such wholesome people.
Yeah, they were holding the baby. And stuff.
They're the Sunday dinner people who are just like chilling out with a robot.
Okay, yeah.
So like that's I kind of thought it was just going over their heads because they can't possibly think.
Right, they would never. Reed's
like let's put my son in a bubble for this gigantic thing to come get him. Like that, I think it was just they didn't want to think that.
Yeah. Okay.
And since they had already had the conversation that they had, Reed and Sue, it was like, yeah, she's like, you have already thought about this because we just had a conversation about this. So that was mainly just for them, I thought, at least.
And now that we're talking about it too, it's really dark. He's considering sacrificing his son or like using his son as bait.
Right. That's the thing. It's like he is purely thinking about how to accomplish the goal. That's where like the sociopathic tendencies come in.
He's like, he knows the answer. Because he's so smart, he figured it out, but it's just a curse because I think he says it earlier, but his mind just directly goes to the answer.
Yeah. I honestly think he was one of the more underrated like characters to dissect throughout the whole thing. I was very interested in him.
I really liked Sue, dude.
Yeah, her being in control was...
Yeah, her speaking to the UN and like giving a speech to the crowd outside of the Baxter building.
Just to have it though, before we keep going with like Reed and his like sociopathic stuff, did you notice how he had the whole plan to like lure him, and then Ben was like, okay, let me share an idea. He's gonna be running through apartment buildings with people.
Yeah.
like he literally didn't think about that. And then Sue had to be the one like, let's call the guy that you hate. It's like he's literally, I don't think that's what they were trying to show in that moment, but that's just something I thought of. But anyway, yes, Sue.
But that ties into Sue being like the leader of the UN or whatever, because in the very beginning they have like the breakdown of the adventures they've been on for the last 4 years, and she's like, Sue brokered peace with Mole Man and Subterranea,
right?
And then Mole Man was like, I only trust Sue Storm,
exactly,
or Sue Richards or whatever her name is at that point.
Yeah. Which shout out.
She's like she's like a really good leader. Like she has a great speaking voice.
Yeah, she is the person with the empathy that like Reed kind of lacks.
Yeah, she's like the ground. She's
like,
grounding
which is
him.
what makes the two of them just like such an insane duo. It's crazy because he can literally think he's smart with everything, even though there were some moments that were pretty funny. Ben, when he was like, "Do you know how to cook?" He's like, "It's more of an art than a science." He's like, "And you failed a driver's test." But yeah, like the two of them together, and that's maybe that's why the whole world was just like a utopia. It was just like a yin and yang type situation, the two of them, which is really cool. But
Reed was able to figure out the answers, but Sue was able to package them in a way that everybody else could agree with it.
She probably keeps him from being like Doom. That's probably what it is. What else? Oh, I think it's worth thinking about if Franklin is going to be some important character in whatever MCU
Mm-hmm.
plan they got going on. Because I think whatever they have mapped out, what did they say? It's to like 2032, something like that.
Yeah, I don't.
Don't quote me on that, but
I don't know. I don't remember. Because I know the pre-Endgame was all planned out for, I think, a decade maybe, or like 5 years ahead.
right. Yeah.
But I don't know what their plans are after Secret Wars, and we don't even know how that's gonna go down because they're changing. This whole phase has just been change after change after change.
Right. Like this is, I think this is something that they really need to pay attention to because it needs to age well. Like this is a, you know, god-like character that the MCU hasn't really, seen.
The closest is like Wanda.
Right. Have we seen any superhero couple have a kid, MCU wise, like type shit? Like so, it's like
I don't think so.
right, like this, and that's not my point. My point is more just this character.
We're gonna watch this character
Yeah.
grow up and change with
Exactly.
the other characters around him.
And he's gonna have to be there has to be something in store. Because if it's just pushed to the side, then they're not doing the character justice. I've read like 2 things about the person online, and I know that this character is like huge in this world.
Yeah, I was telling you earlier that I feel like they only whip him out when they've written themselves into a corner or when they need to reboot something because he's just so powerful.
Right.
So and every character in the MCU so far, I think, has been nerfed to their compared to their comic book counterparts. So unless they do something like turn him into like a benevolent Scarlet Witch who's stronger, just a tiny bit stronger or something, I don't know what they could do, or unless they plan to reboot. I think after Secret Wars they're gonna start making X-Men films. So
God,
I don't know, maybe they'll do something with that. Just kind of like end this saga of superheroes and then move into mutants or something.
Right.
And use him as a plot device to change like the movie universe.
I have no idea I don't know the validity of these statements. It could have been the parody account for all I know. But I know I saw something about the MCU plan being mapped out to like 2032. Ugh. I thought I saw something else that hinted at this kind of being like a reset, or at least Doomsday or Secret Wars is going to be like a reset to the MCU.
Yeah, I could see Secret Wars being a reset because that's how it is in the books.
Yeah.
They merge multiple universes together and it becomes one storyline. So I could see that happening.
Mm-hmm. Like they have created a monster.
Yeah.
They've created a monster. Like this has to keep on going for a while. They've essentially taken what still is like the world of comics and just everlasting stories. They have to do this for years. They have to keep on going. So that's where my mind is with Franklin specifically, because of the fact that this is a bigger than Tony Stark or even Reed or like anybody. So I think that they should really think a lot about, and this is moving past a review of the film in general, but I think they really need to think about like how they want to move forward with that. It really needs to be well thought out, in my opinion.
Yeah, and especially if they decide to keep making Fantastic Four movies. Because if you make several Fantastic Four movies, you could maybe have them take place in like a shorter span of time, so that he's still a child and you don't have to use him in like a crazy way.
Right.
You could include him in their antics or something, but yeah, if you're gonna do I don't know, the time jump between Endgame or Infinity War and Endgame is like 5 years or something. Right now, by the end of Fantastic Four, Franklin is like 4 years old. So like if you're having time jumps all the time, you got to keep, I don't know. But then maybe that gives them an opportunity to like send him away somewhere. Like he's older and maybe he like has his powers. His powers have developed, so maybe he's like exploring the universe or something.
Right.
You could send him away.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't know.
It's tough. Did you have any complaints about the size of Galactus? Because isn't he supposed to be like this gigantic character, and then he's just reduced to being the size of skyscrapers?
He can shrink and grow in the books on command.
That's what I've never understood.
We didn't really see him shrink or grow in the movies.
That's what was so... Okay, that's another thing I was thinking about.
Because in his ship, he was massive.
Right.
And in New York, he was massive.
I was so ready after that planet, when they encounter that planet, and they're like, where is he? And then it just explodes. I was so ready for there to just be this larger than life head just in the middle of space, like no ship,
or a hand grabbing the planet or something,
floating.
Yeah,
it's just this being adrift.
That's what I was.
That's kind of what I was expecting, because I've seen all the pictures of it's like, dude, he is the size of a planet.
Yeah, I was expecting that too, but my immediate reaction when seeing his ship was like Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer, when he was just a tornado cloud.
Right.
Similar concept, I guess, except one was a cloud and one was the ship. So he's not actually devouring the planet. It was the ship. And he was just absorbing the planet with those tubes connected to him. I mean, I don't really have any complaints, because I don't know how you would do it practically. Like, if he can grow larger than a planet, like, how are you supposed to stop that?
Exactly.
And you got one dude who can stretch, one dude who's made out of rocks, someone who can set himself on fire, and the other, an invisible woman turns invisible.
Well, that's the thing, it's like,
unless Reed sciences his way out of it.
That's what I was about to say. So I think that a lot of people might have complaints about this movie because of the lack of action. They might be expecting so much stuff to happen with the four of them. But what I liked about it is that it like really showed that they really aren't like this, like you said in the car. It's not really like superhero movie. Like this is just like, they're almost like a I don't know what to call it, like a council that runs the whole world.
Like problem solvers.
Right. Like they're just the just practical, like none of their villains seemed like they were like, this big name people that had these insane motives. It was just like random people retaliating, and it just seemed all goofy or whatever. It was like, I don't know. I'm going off on a tangent there, but it was just like, I don't know. I liked how they just showed how they have so much influence everywhere, and how they were these ultimate problem solvers. Everyone seemed like everything was okay. They could fix anything. And then, so I just like that aspect of it. But some people might hate that there was a lot of action, because there
really wasn't that much action.
No,
it was. It felt like a movie about this family,
right?
Who, there was a lot of talking, but it wasn't boring. It wasn't like dry, dense dialogue. It was like problem solving. Reed's like, all right, we got to do this and this. Johnny's off doing his own thing, figuring out the language.
Yeah. That's like, I went off on a complete tangent, but that's what I was going. It's like, it's more them building a way to stop him with everyone. It's not just, it's going to come down to the four of them fighting this person. Like, it's like, we have to get everyone behind us.
Like classic MCU movies. It's like it leads up to the fight, and they end up beating them and like killing them in most cases. Yeah.
It's much bigger than that.
Yeah, like, this is not... just gotta save Earth without fighting him, because he's a giant dude and they have basic powers. And
it's not like a group of misfits like Thunderbolts was working together. It's like, this is a well-oiled machine. Like, this is like, we are
a team.
We're the Fantastic Four,
Yeah.
God damn it. Like, we scoff at these small problems. We will fix them like that. So, like, I liked seeing that where it was, you know.
And Reed, when they were in the spaceship heading to Galactus, Reed was like, "We're gonna talk to him," and then Johnny and Ben are like, "Oh, so we don't get to fight him?" And he's like, "If talking goes bad, then you guys can punch him out."
Yeah, it's like,
and they're like, "All right, sweet."
I liked that vibe. It's they took everything for granted almost. Like, we're the shit. Like, we we seem to have solved everything that's been thrown at us. Like, everything seems like a utopia on Earth from my perspective watching the movie. So they walked into it like, yeah, if it's just a guy in a ship, let's beat him up. And it turned out to be a gigantic human being.
Yeah.
Well, not human being, gigantic being that eats planets. So I did like that. I liked how it's, really showed the scale that, like, these aren't just, superheroes. This is like, yeah, they're running the world. They have so much influence that Reed Richards just has to stand in front of a camera and say, okay, this is what we can do. And everyone in the world, with the exception of, who, is like, yeah, we'll do it. Just literally tell us what to do. And every spot in the world had this gigantic thing ready to teleport the Earth somewhere else.
They had the montage.
Think about that. Like, that was sick to me.
Yeah, supply depots moving.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was really cool.
Dude, and they
even
said on the news in the movie, it was like, the world is working together in ways we've never seen.
Coordination like this ever.
Right. So that really showed you, like, they are that powerful.
Yeah, that would not happen in the mainline MCU.
Which is a good segue. How are they, like, what's something that you are so ready to see, like, them encounter? I don't know if it's a person, real world problems, real world things. It's going to be so interesting seeing Reed Richards have to deal with, like...
Yeah. Okay, so I think Reed is going to approach the MCU world like his own world.
Right.
But it's obviously different. And I think that the world not cooperating, like, the rules in the mainline MCU were different than the rules in his world. Like, they were more opened up to cooperation and stuff like that. But I think the MCU is different. Too many things have happened to where they're like, it's just not going to be as easy as you thought. And it's a different time too. Like, Thanos probably didn't show up and wipe out half the universe in the Fantastic Four world. Right. And they're the only superheroes in that world.
Exactly.
But there are heroes everywhere. And we've seen throughout, like, previous movies that not everybody is happy with the amount of superheroes because it just causes so many issues.
Exactly.
So they're not going to be special.
There's also that aspect of government control. It seemed like there was no government in this world because, like we were just talking about, the Fantastic Four, like, nobody's going through them. So now they have to deal with, like, regulation in some situations that they're not going to want to, if they still explore that. I know they did in Civil War.
Even if they
obviously
can, because we don't know what's going to happen after Secret Wars.
Right.
Like,
exactly.
But I don't think they would be able to accomplish the things in their world in the mainline MCU.
Well, so I was thinking about, not while watching the movie, but just in general. You know how when Captain America was in the ice, and then in the first movie at the end, it's revealed he's in present day. They make jokes throughout the movies that come after that about him catching up with the times. He has a whole list of things that he needs to, like, look up. I know when he meets Sam tells him another thing to write down. He whips out his notebook, whatever. That is going to be really interesting, I think, specifically with Reed, because he's going to have to catch up. The smartest man in the universe is going to have to catch up on, what would that be, like 70 years of technological, like, advancement? And he's going to have to just know. He is going to just know how to adapt.
Yeah.
That's going to be really cool to see. He's just going to know what to do because he's the smartest man. It'll be less interesting for people like Johnny and Ben, because it's, it'll just be like all fun to them.
They'll be fine.
Sue's
gonna have to keep him grounded.
Sue will, yes, that is 100% true. But it is gonna be very interesting to see the smartest man in the universe absorb 70 years of technological advancement that he just missed out on.
Or he's probably gonna thrive and
right.
Be like, oh my god, I can do all this stuff. Why haven't you guys done this and this and this?
Right.
I did this and we have record players still.
Act 2, take 1, action.
Okay, so I was just thinking about this. Do you remember in Age of Ultron when he's looking at the cradle trying to make Vision and he has the vibranium and he's like, the most versatile substance on Earth, and they used it to make a frisbee.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I feel like that's how Reed is gonna approach the mainline MCU.
Right.
Just because they have really advanced technology, but the world isn't a utopia. We don't know if they have faster than light travel like they do in the Fantastic Four universe.
Or it'll almost be like the Timekeepers or whatever their name was in the agency in Loki.
The TVA.
Yeah, how they just have like Infinity Stones are just paperweights to them. It's gonna be like a vibe like that. Like Reed's just gonna look at something that's just crazy to everybody, and he's gonna be like, "Oh, it's just this, and this."
And then
it's so easy to him to.
What I was gonna say earlier is we don't know if magic exists in the Fantastic Four universe. Like we don't know if there's sorcerers like Doctor Strange and Wong.
Right.
So that could blow him away, or maybe he just explains it mathematically, like, oh, magic is just this set of data that I can analyze and recreate or something like that.
Yeah. So then him with Doctor Strange, or just anyone in that regard would be really cool.
I feel like it could be something like when Andrew and Toby show up in Spider-Man. They're like, you guys have magic here?
Right.
Johnny and Ben might be like surprised or excited by it.
I think that they... And this is just an obvious one. Like when it's Spider-Man and him, they might have the same energy. They might feed off of each other. It's like, oh, you have this, oh, you have that. Like, because they're like that goofy, nerdy guy.
Yeah. Because Peter did that with Tony too.
Yeah. He was that little kid just running around with excitement.
And Spider-Man, they could say whatever age he is when they get there, by the time the Fantastic Four gets there. And maybe they could go back and forth because, like, I'm kind of bummed out that Reed and Tony won't be able to interact with each other.
Yeah.
Because they're both geniuses. They both have massive egos.
Right.
Well, we don't know if Reed does, but he probably does.
Right.
But that would have been awesome to see. But now we might be able to see Spider-Man interacting with Reed. And they're both geniuses. And so that could just be really cool.
Yeah.
Really cool dynamic.
Right. Tony had that, confidence in addition to his intelligence. Like that, well, I'm sure, Spider-Man and Reed have that confidence too. Not the same, but they also have confidence. But they just have that too. They're like the same code. They're just coded the same, I feel like. It's so funny.
The Hulk is also a genius.
Yeah.
So that could be cool too.
Him seeing, especially because is he going to be the version of himself that he was in like Endgame?
I don't think so.
Or Mrs. Hulk or She-Hulk, whatever it was.
He's going to be in the new Spider-Man movie. And so is the Punisher. And I've seen speculation where they're going to like hunt down the Hulk or something, like Savage Hulk.
Okay.
So I mean, I don't know, but at the end of Shang-Chi, did you see that?
I did not.
Yeah, Shang-Chi was awesome. But in the post-credit scene, he's just Bruce Banner. And he's not the Hulk.
Okay.
He has the sling on from when he used the stones, but he just reverts back to Banner. So I think we'll see different phases of the Hulk. But
I think we gotta finally bring it up. The post-credit scenes.
Oh yeah. Just one word, say how you felt, and then I'll say mine.
I'll say two words. the two words, the things that I was hyper focused on. The mask. It was full disclosure, ladies and gentlemen. You don't see his face, but you see Doctor Doom on screen for the first time with Franklin. And did he take his mask off and Franklin is just up like this and Doom is holding his mask, or is Franklin holding the mask?
No. Doom was holding his mask to the side.
Yes.
To his left. And he was like kneeling over Franklin, and Franklin's like looking up at him.
And he was like touching his face.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're gonna, well, first off, we'll give them the benefit of the doubt for now. Maybe they're still workshopping it.
Yeah.
But if that's what he's gonna look like, I'm gonna be very disappointed.
Yeah. My one word is disappointed.
Yeah. Especially with the second one. Don't even call that a post-credit scene. It was literally just like
the second post-credit scene. It was cool, but like not worth sitting through the credits. You could see it on YouTube and get the same reaction. Was
that like an OG? Was that like a callback to something?
I'm not sure if there's a Fantastic Four cartoon or not, but we see clips of it throughout the show, and they're like, "Oh, I only say that in the cartoon or whatever." So I think it was just that.
Right. Yeah.
But I mean, it's kind of a callback to like the old Spider-Man cartoon in the 60s or something. But it was a nothing burger.
Yeah. But the first one,
definitely interesting, and I think it was probably put in there last minute. I do, because I don't think they planned on introducing Doom, because we know that Kang was supposed to be the next big villain. So I think they did that last second. Because the mask looked like the Comic-Con mask, but shinier.
Exactly. It looked like something you could get at Party City. That was very disappointing.
But we still have time.
Right.
I think the costume's gonna look sweet.
Yeah, I think it will too.
Yeah, you really don't see anything.
It's just his back. You can't even tell that it's Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah, could have been anybody from the set.
Could have been anyone.
So it was cool to see, but like it led to nothing really. It's just like, oh, Doom, or like if you don't know who Doom is, it's like, oh, who is that guy? But it's not as interesting as the post-credit scene to Infinity War. I mean, not Infinity War, Avengers.
Right. And that one hit so much different because, they were actually...
Yeah, they just kicked ass.
They were really planning something. Like...
They just kicked ass, and they're like...
That's very true.
Who is this guy?
That's very true. But it was also... What I'm saying is, like, they had already planned, like, this is what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Doom, unfortunately, I think was, like, a last-second idea. My other thing was really hoping that the Thunderbolts one would tie in to the end of Fantastic Four.
Yeah, me too.
So... That annoyed me because I was thinking to myself, and I remember telling you this, that spoils the end of the movie.
Yeah.
But it didn't. Like, they did push Galactus through that thing. Johnny talks Silver Surfer into, fucking locking in and stop being ridiculous. Put this man out. You've already done enough damage. I was really hoping that the post-credit scene would be like, okay, this is... them going to the MCU, but now literally saying it, I'm thinking like there's so much they have to cover. Like they can't simply just put that in an end credit scene of them just being propelled to another universe. But
unless it was, I don't know, the post credit scene for Thunderbolts was pretty long too. Like they joked around a lot.
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh, we're getting a transmission.
Right.
Or something's entering the atmosphere.
Did you notice if there was like music or a specific sound when Doom came into the room? Because she snapped out of it like it was Spider-Man with a Spidey sense. Like in No Way Home when he realizes that Green Goblin is showing up. Something clicks when she's standing in the kitchen. I don't know if she hears something. I didn't know if it was music.
No, I didn't notice any audio cues or the music change.
She just
it did feel
something.
Really ominous because the way you see her walking back to Franklin and she has like this weird look on her face, but then the camera changes and it's almost her POV walking towards.
Yeah.
And the camera moves really slowly.
Right.
and so it felt very ominous. I think they do know who Doom is.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Like Reed and Sue, just the Fantastic Four. I guarantee they know who he is.
These people
But
are
yeah.
very new to this. Like they probably know who he is. They just don't really see him as a threat because it's like I was saying earlier, it's like they seem like they've just been winning left and
So
right.
yeah, I think they do see him as a threat. Maybe he hasn't done anything, but
Not yet, at least. to
I'm
them.
sure. Yeah, I'm sure they recognize like the threat that he could be, or like the potential he has to do evil or something like that. I mean, it's based on nothing, though.
Yeah.
I just know their relationship in the comics and stuff. Who knows if it's gonna translate? But him not being there at the Future Foundation / UN summit, I think says enough.
Yeah. The last thing that I can think of is like who is ultimately going to be the reason why they're going to the MCU? If you think about it, like, is it going to be Reed's creation or is it going to be Doom's creation that launches them there?
I think Doom is gonna be like, look, this is happening, and if you want to leave, you can leave, but this is gonna happen, and there's nothing you or I can do to stop it. I think he'll be transparent about his motives, and be like, I'm gonna figure out how to control it or something like that, or
Are you
like
saying-
take advantage of the situation.
Are you saying he's going to destroy the Earth?
I don't think he's gonna destroy the Earth. I think I don't watch enough of the TV shows anymore, but I think it's all tying in, like timelines are collapsing, like in Deadpool.
Mm-hmm.
Deadpool and Wolverine. They're like, this is a dead timeline, so we're just gonna destroy it.
Yeah.
I think that's gonna happen to them, and Doom is aware of it, and Reed will eventually become aware of it, and then he's just pretty much gonna warn them. Like, he wouldn't just leave them there, because then he would always have that over like Reed's head.
Well,
because
no.
he's petty.
So what I was thinking was, I don't know what his motive is yet, even. So, like, I don't know how they're going to get to the MCU. So what I'm thinking is one of two things. Something Doctor Doom is planning, he reveals it to them. They follow him. Or Reed bites off more than he can chew with an idea that he has. It creates the problem that's going to happen in Doomsday. And that's why they have to go. So that's like where my head is at.
No, I think this is out of everyone's control.
Okay.
I think Reed is going to try to save the Earth
Right.
or the universe or whatever the threat is. Stop
Mhm.
it. But he's going to be like, we can't. Like, we have to leave.
Okay.
And then
So essentially
transitions into the Thunderbolts post-credit scene.
Gotcha. So essentially what I, at least, thought was going to happen in this movie is going to be how they... I thought in this movie it was going to be like Galactus wins, we go to the MCU.
That's what I thought too.
So the next...
And that's why we thought that the post-credit scene in Thunderbolts spoiled Fantastic Four.
So Doomsday is going to have to be like, okay, this is happening, they have to go here. You know, whatever.
Yeah, that's what I think, at least.
I was thinking to myself for just a split second, that them defeating Galactus like wasn't supposed to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know how in Deadpool and Wolverine, like you're describing with the timelines, like it becomes a dead universe. Like if some certain
Yeah, like
anchor
when Logan
being is
died.
killed or something.
Okay, that's a good theory.
So like, I don't think they're supposed to kill Galactus, if that makes sense.
Well, they didn't kill him, but maybe
I don't
Earth
think. Yeah,
was
I don't
supposed to
think
get
they're supposed to
destroyed.
win the way
Okay.
that they did.
Yeah, that's a good theory. I didn't think of that. That's a really good theory.
So like, he is essentially the anchor being
Yeah.
for that universe,
Or Earth was just supposed to get destroyed.
right? But
I think it makes sense.
But you saying he's not dead is holding me back. Because didn't the anchor beings have to die?
Yeah, but
He's simply-
there's canon events too. Well, that might just be a Spider-Verse thing, though.
Well, the guy in Deadpool Wolverine explains it. He's like,
Yeah, yes. If
And
the anchor
that's-
being dies, then the universe ends.
and Deadpool's like, I'm the anchor being, and he starts laughing in his face.
Yeah.
He's like, you, an anchor being. But Yeah, so my head was kind of there for a second. Like, you know,
I mean, it would make sense. It would tie everything together, like the common thread of like timelines collapsing, anchor beings, Nexus events. Earth was supposed to get destroyed, or Galactus was not supposed to die. Whatever it is, ties it into all the other stuff happening in the MCU. Universe is collapsing. They got to get out of there.
yeah. It's just, I
This is the problem with like time travel
Yeah.
and like universes and stuff.
yeah, because think about what I just said. Like, if they don't beat him, then what happens? That would mean that technically in that universe they're destined to die. That can't be what happens because they're supposed to go to the other universe. So like that's there's some holes to like what I'm thinking about. Because if their universe was destined to die,
Or we're just thinking about it, like we're speculating. So like,
I would hate with after even with just this 10 minutes of thinking for it to just be such a simple idea. Because it's so confusing to me. They first thing you see right after it says Marvel Studios is this is not even the right Earth.
yeah,
This is not even the same universe. How are they going to get there?
well, we heard Reed on his little kids TV show. He's like, and this confirms that other dimensions exist.
Yeah,
So like they know about it.
for sure. I mean, he knows
Now
about it.
well, yeah, he knows about it, but now they just got to get there.
The dude's
And they have faster than light travel, so I'm sure they'll figure it out. They're gonna have to abandon Earth, though.
Yeah.
I think Reed or Doom is gonna figure it out.
that's what I was thinking. It's like, are they going to open a portal or some sort of, I'll say portal for lack of a better term. Are they
Mhm.
going to open some sort of gateway?
Right.
But since both of them are incredibly intelligent, who is going to do it?
I think Doom's gonna figure it out. No. I think Doom is gonna figure out what's happening, and Reed will figure out how to get them there. Because, like we know, they mentioned it multiple times.
Mm-hmm.
Reed figured out how to get them into space, but didn't see the radiation or whatever
Mm-hmm.
coming that altered their DNA.
Right.
So like, he's gonna feel like shit. Doom's gonna know that he prevented them from all dying.
Mm-hmm.
Just be super petty about it, and yeah, he's just gonna have that over Reed.
Yeah. Well, you made the point that he's in his own way because he's constantly trying to one up Reed.
Yeah, and this will be that.
Yeah. I was thinking with that in mind, whatever device, whatever thing, whatever act leads to them going to the MCU, it could be like, oh, Reed's trying to develop some sort of device, and then
And he accidentally.
Dr. Doom's like, oh, well, I'm going to do it better.
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
he screws some shit up.
Okay.
I don't know. But then that would make him less smart than he's supposed to be. I don't know. I'm entirely
I
just
don't-
speculating because I don't know like any of the actual lore about.
If you're like dimension hopping, I feel like messing that up is like more acceptable than messing up,
Mm-hmm.
like miscalculating cosmic rays blasting you guys.
Right.
Like this, we're talking about something that's way bigger than space travel.
Mm-hmm.
So if he creates a device that accidentally teleports them to another universe, I feel like that, and they're stuck there or something. I don't know. It does sound kind of goofy now that I'm mentioning it or talking about it, but I don't know. I think their universe is toast.
Yeah.
So they're done.
I'm thinking that purely just throwing ideas out there, I think it might make the most sense if it's like an idea that Reed is developing that Doom steals, and then it just goes off the rails because he
Mhm.
doesn't really know what to do with it. Or it could have been the same outcome that Reed would have had too if he stuck with it, but it's just Doom that took it from him. I don't know. But yeah. What do you think like the protagonist of these Avengers movies is going to be? Because like, I feel like all of us thought, well, actually I shouldn't speak for everybody, but at least I thought in the back of my head that pretty much all of these have to do with Iron Man. Like he's going to be the
Mhm.
savior. He saved them in Avengers 1. He saved them in Avengers 2. He's the one that had like the dilemma.
In Endgame, he
And-
saved them there.
Yeah, Endgame, he saved them.
Um,
He had the dilemma in Civil War brought up about like, oh, like you can't save everybody. Like a lot of it centered in on him.
I think we talked about this in the car for a minute, but I think the Fantastic Four. Yeah, we did talk about it in the car. The Fantastic Four are going to be the face
You're
of
right.
the MCU.
We did.
So it's going to be Reed.
Yeah, it's like
I mean,
yeah.
not
It's, like,
specifically
all there.
Reed, but like those four.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's going to be them. And then you have your big hitters like Thor and Spider-Man and the Hulk. But no, it's definitely going to be them. It feels more like them than anybody else because it's sure as hell not going to be the Thunderbolts.
Mm-hmm.
Besides maybe Bucky, but like Bucky's not. If Bucky were to die, like sacrifice himself, like it would hurt because he's been in so many movies.
Right.
But he's not Captain America. He's not Iron Man.
Mm-hmm.
And he's not Thor.
Exactly. So yeah, I think it's gonna be the.
So yeah, it's
formula,
definitely gonna be them.
which I am all here for.
Act 3, take 1, action.
Two things that I want to talk about. One is a criticism, and then the other is like more speculation. But the CGI I thought was a little weird in some spots of the movie, like the baby. I think CGI babies are hard to do because it was real in some scenes.
Yeah, you're right.
But like when the Thing is holding him or something, it just looked a little weird. Or like
Mhm.
she gives birth in space, and like obviously you can't shoot the movie in space, but like
that was really cool though.
yeah, it was. It
That
was
was,
really
like,
cool. The whole
the-
scene was cool.
The cosmic being is born
Yeah.
right next to a black hole. That was
Yeah.
pretty cool. I thought that was really cool.
Um,
And the way that they tricked her
yeah,
into going, yeah, we completely like went over that. The way that they tricked her into going into the black hole so that they can get out was pretty sick. I was like, damn. But then she came back, which was pretty crazy. She's like, I don't know what powers Galactus gave her, but she's a cheat code. She was destroying everything.
they said it would take her a month to get out of the black hole. So
yeah.
maybe a month passed because they had to construct all those
Yeah.
things. So they obviously didn't do it in a day. Maybe
Yeah.
they like rallied up and were like, okay, like
Yeah.
coordinated mining operations to get the uranium and shit that they need. But maybe from the time they get back to Earth to when Galactus shows up, you could say months have passed because Franklin is like a bigger. He doesn't
Mhm.
look like a newborn,
Right.
but I don't know. Like, and they had to go faster than light to get to where Galactus was.
Yeah.
So like,
I also really liked how they didn't just show up at their destination. Like they took into account, like when you're traveling at the speed of light, it still takes time to get to where you're going.
Mhm.
So that they were just floating around the spaceship. That was really cool. The way they shot that. So the
Dude.
CGI, and then what was the other thing?
yeah. Well, the other one was speculation, but now that we're talking about the black hole scene, it was really cool when the audio started to bug out when she was getting sucked into the black hole.
Yeah.
Shalaval.
Mm-hmm.
That was, dude, that was so cool.
She was like, ah. And dude, she actually looked like she was terrified. That's why I was thinking, like, is she already gonna get killed already? It was creepy when she has her hand in her stomach, and then Ben just
Yeah.
throws it into place, and like they go flying.
Yeah.
But she is able to keep up with the ship.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
That would be scary.
She was able to keep up with the ship, even though they were moving that fast. That is interesting that you bring up the CGI because they nailed it with Galactus. Like,
Yeah.
He
Well,
did not look.
In the ship, some shots, I thought he did look a little weird.
In the
But-
ship?
In the ship, when you're looking up at him from the Fantastic Four's POV,
Yeah.
and he like crouches over something, it just looked a little weird.
Mhm.
But I don't know if it was bad CGI or if it's just really hard to make a giant human like
Yeah.
person and not have
Especially considering the capabilities he's supposed to have.
yeah, what is it called? What's that valley called? Like where something looks like a human but it's not.
Oh, the Uncanny Valley.
Yes, yeah, the Uncanny Valley. Like it's weird seeing a human being that size.
Yeah.
He's not a human being, but like he looks like a human being.
Yeah.
So maybe that was just throwing me off.
They could have made him look a lot bigger.
I think it was huge, dude.
He was huge, but like he's supposed to be bigger than even that. You're not supposed to be able to use the word huge to describe him. I feel like he still looked gigantic though. I thought it was crazy when he's simply just getting up in the water.
Did you see?
And the boat's like, what the fuck? And like a whole tidal wave is just taking it out.
Dude, when
those
that
guys
wave,
had a bad day.
When that wave hit Manhattan, I was like, there goes Franklin. Like he's gonna get swept away by the water. But
he was deep in there. He was in he was in fucking Times Square.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, he's in Times Square.
Did you see Eternals?
No.
Okay, there's a shot in Eternals. So there's like the Celestials. Do you remember the Celestials from Guardians of the Galaxy?
Yes.
There's a bunch of Celestials in that movie.
Mm-hmm.
And that shot that you wanted to see of Galactus, like a giant head behind the Earth, you get that in the Eternals.
You see Galactus.
Not Galactus, but the Celestials.
Oh. Are the Celestials also in Days of Future Past?
No, those are Sentinels.
Sentinels. Okay.
Yeah, but the Celestials are like
everybody up.
Primordial beings as well.
Yeah.
But massive scale. It didn't look weird, but maybe it's because they didn't look like humans. They had like a cool design and stuff, but I don't know. It's like it's Uncanny Valley, or it was just maybe I'm tweaking.
I thought he looked crazy when they were in the ship.
Yeah, he looked awesome.
Yeah.
I thought he was scariest when he had the visors over his eyes and they would just light up.
I thought it was scarier when they weren't there.
Really?
When you saw his eyeballs. That to me was like, he's really paying attention to you. He's like, you were pissing me off.
Yeah.
It's like, what the fuck are you doing? Because he has got the thing, and then isn't it when Sue is like holding him back and like really trying? That's when like the like shades go away or like the lights go away. And it's
Johnny
just his
blasts
eyes.
him in the eyes.
That's when they switch the baby. This is when he's literally about to take Franklin, and she's using every fiber of his being to stop him.
He might have done it again, though.
Yeah. But yeah, I thought it was creepy when he did that. We said this an hour ago, but definitely needed more talking from Galactus.
And then the other thing that I wanted to mention was like, it's more speculation, but Doom being played by Robert Downey Jr. I just don't want him to be an Iron Man variant.
It's,
because it would explain how smart Doom is supposed to be, and it ties into Tony Stark being a genius.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know. I'm just worried about like seeing his face and people recognizing him and being like, Tony. But
this movie, out of all the MCU movies, had none of that cheesy dialogue where they're like borderline breaking the fourth wall, but they're not. Like, if that makes sense. Not breaking the fourth wall, but it's just like just such generic lines. Like, I got a bad feeling about this. Oh, he's right behind me, isn't he? That's like, this movie had like genuine acting in it. I don't see Avengers, Doomsday, or Secret Wars having that, because they're gonna have to make jokes about the fact that this guy looks just like Tony Stark.
Unless they don't show his face.
They might not show his face, yeah.
But like, you don't get paid $100 million to act in a movie and not see your face, though.
Right.
Unless, I don't know.
Maybe he's not gonna. Maybe you know what our problem is. We think he's gonna have the same high and tight haircut, the same goatee with the lines. He might be bald for all we fucking know.
I'm not like worried about.
He might look completely different than Tony to the point where it's like unrecognizable.
Yeah, he could have like makeup or something. I guess.
I don't know. I don't know what Doctor Doom is supposed to look like canonically, but like I do know that they could easily make it be like, oh, this looks nothing like Tony Stark.
Yeah, I don't think he ever takes his mask off, but if he does, it's either like a messed up face or like his ego's so big he thinks his face is fucked up.
Yeah.
And he doesn't want anyone to see it. But this is the movies, and it's played by Robert Downey Jr., and they're both intelligent characters. It's just my biggest concern, that and like the script being bad because it's rushed and they had to change everything. When you said that they didn't have any like weird quips or like weird cheesy dialogue,
Mm-hmm.
I think it was because this movie is so important.
Yeah.
It's important to the MCU, but it's also important for the Fantastic Four in general
Mm-hmm.
because they tried it 2 other times and it didn't work. And I think they really wanted to get it right because this Fantastic Four was the first team in comic books, and they never got it right on film. But I think this movie was so important because MCU has been criticized a lot lately for not making good movies.
Mm.
I think this movie is really important for the franchise and for like the Fantastic Four name.
Yeah.
So I think they probably listened to criticisms of like the internet.
And not to mention they're gonna have to make, their world look so much different than the MCU world. But, that's one of the main things I'm interested in seeing is how they're gonna adapt. I think we gotta give it a final rating.
Let's just do 1 to 5 right now.
1 to 5.
Yeah.
I will give it out of 5 stars. Can't just do solid numbers. I have to really think about that. I think it's between like a high 3, low 4. That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's up to like mid 4, like close to 5, but I think it was still really good because it's tough. It's gonna be tough for me to rate movies in this because I'm gonna be thinking about all the other movies I've seen and like. But yeah, I'll say final answer 4.2. We'll put it in that range.
Okay.
I think now that I say it, it deserves to be higher than like anything in the 3 range. It's probably like between like 4.4 and a 4.5.
Okay.
It's in that range, I think.
Yeah. I was gonna go between 4 and like a 4.7
Gotcha.
because if they had fleshed out Galactus's motives,
Mm-hmm.
Silver Surfer, and like that's really it.
Yeah, like I said, I will give it a 4.2 purely because I have some notes. I don't have complaints. I just have some notes.
Yeah.
I have some suggestions that
Yeah.
I might have wanted to see, but nothing that it's like you missed this.
Yeah.
So overall, very good.
And